Hey guys, Pastor Chad here. I am so happy to see everyone, and I'm glad you were able to come by and hang out for a little bit. I want to welcome you to Wednesday in the Word, where we get a chance to look a little deeper into our relationship with the Lord and navigate the challenges. There's so many, the challenges of today's world with faith and grace. Again, I'm Pastor Chad, and I'm thrilled to spend these next few minutes with you. Whether you're in the middle of your crazy, busy day, or perhaps enjoying your lunch, or maybe even just taking a moment of quiet reflection, I wanted to talk to you today about feeling alone, even when we're in the midst of a large crowd, that feeling of loneliness. Let's dive into today's devotion. It comes from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 and 25. And it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." You know, loneliness is such a struggle, and it can happen at a moment's notice. You know, loneliness is a feeling that many of us encounter, and sometimes even when we're in the midst of a crowd. You know, it's that nagging sense of feeling disconnected, unseen, unheard, or even unnoticed. You could be shouting from the rooftops, but still feel that you are out there by yourself. But the beauty of our faith is that we're truly never alone. You know, God's presence is a constant companion. And through his grace, we're called to foster these connections that can lift us up no matter how much we feel isolated. And when I was thinking about this topic, I thought of the story about the Good Samaritan, which is in Luke chapter 10. And it's about a man who was beaten, robbed, and left on the side of the road. Felt utterly alone in his suffering. There are many that passed by. There were religious leaders that kind of walked by him and didn't even want to look at him. Those you would think that would have helped just ignored him and left him there isolated and all the pain. But then there came this Samaritan, someone who from a whole different background and culture showed compassion and caring for this individual. The Samaritan didn't just notice the man, though. He stopped and he helped and he provided for him. You know, this act of kindness not only saved the man's life, but also restored a sense of human connection in his time of greatest need. You know, sometimes you just need someone there. Maybe it's a gentle touch or someone to hold your hand or, whatever that might be to kind of give you that feeling of humanity. You know, this story is such a powerful reminder that in our loneliness, God often sends other people to reach out to us, to help us to heal and to remind us that we are not alone. You know, in today's world, loneliness can be amplified by those things that we think actually connect us even more than we thought before. And the biggest culprit of this is social media. You know, while a great way to stay in touch, it certainly can create the illusion of connection, leaving us feeling even more isolated than we felt before. You know, we scroll through highlight reels of others' lives, comparing and sometimes feeling inadequate with the lives that we're leading. You know, you hardly ever see the bad side of someone's life. on Facebook. You're always seeing the wonderful things that are happening, and it certainly can weigh on you. I know it has weighed on me in the past as well. But what if instead of turning to social media, we actively sought out real, meaningful connections within our community? Perhaps it's a phone call or a visit or even a heartfelt conversation after church at Lemonade on the Lawn. These small acts of reaching out can build bridges over vast chasms of loneliness. Questions I think we should think about is, when we feel lonely, when we feel alone, how can we remind ourselves that God's constant presence is in our life? What steps can we take this week to perhaps step away from social media for even just a moment? Stop scrolling for even just a moment and foster a deeper connection with someone, whether that be in your faith community or your friendship circle or your family. I think if we're to reflect on a couple things, I think we need to remember that loneliness is not a reflection of your worth. Okay? It has nothing to do with your value, but it's a call to draw closer to God and his people, right? And by his people, what I mean is all of those that God puts in your path to help you through the challenging times. I love when I can sit back and think about my day and go, man, oh man, that really was God putting me in the path of this woman who was struggling or having a hard time, or this kid that was having a rough day. I mean, just being able to be there for someone is huge. And he not only uses us, but for putting people in our lives, but he puts us in the lives of others. So as we go through this week, maybe we think about ways that we can cultivate a spirit of companionship, both in your personal life and within the community. It'd be kind of cool if we could just do one thing that made a difference in someone's life. So I'm hoping that you take a moment to reflect on these thoughts that I've shared with you throughout your week. And I pray that you find in God's ever-present companionship the comfort that you need, and to be inspired to reach out and build those meaningful connections that you don't get on this little wonderful device that we can't seem to do without, but to build those meaningful connections that reflect his love. Well, I hope that this gives you the shot in the arm that you need to help get you to Sunday. This is our Wednesday shot in the arm. Until we can once again come together and worship together. I hope that you remember always that God loves you, and so do I. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed rest of the week. And I hope to see you on Sunday. God bless you. Have a great day.